Om Sri Mahaganapathye namah Saraswatyai namah Om Shri Gurubhyo namah Paradevataye namah Om Sri Ramachandraya namah Sadguru Saishwaraye namah Om Sairam Om Asahayasahayaya namah. Now let us hear the chapters of Sri Sai SATCHARITAM written by Hemat Pant, based on Sri Sai SATCHARITAM written in Malayalam by N.Somashekaran, translated by Sulini.V.Nair. Chapter 9. Lessons for Life. Without Baba's permission and blessing, it was impossible to have his darshan or leave Shirdi afterwards. Those who decided to leave, disobeying Baba, had to suffer dangerous consequences as well. Similarly, if Baba gave someone permission to leave Shirdi, staying on would also invite trouble. Disobeying Baba always had dire consequences. Once, Tatya Kote came to take leave of Baba, preparing to go to the weekly market at Kopargaon. He had planned to bow at Baba's feet, take his permission and leave. When he anxiously prostrated before Baba, he said, "Wait a little, forget about the bazaar now. There will be time for that later. In any case, don't go out of the village now." But Tatya was determined to go. "Then take Shama with you," said Baba. Tatya did not reply. He did not think it is necessary for Shama to accompany him. He did not object to Baba's suggestion but set out alone. He had hardly gone 3 kilometers when the horse began to run rashly. It sprained its waist and fell. Tatya sustained a few injuries. At that moment, he remembered Baba's direction. On yet another occasion, he similarly disregarded Baba's direction and met with an accident. But by Baba's grace, he escaped without major trouble. Listen to yet another incident. Once, a European gentleman came to Shirdi with a letter from Nana Sahib. He wanted to kneel before Baba and kiss his hand. He tried thrice to enter the masjid and do so, but Baba did not permit him. Instead, Baba allowed him to sit elsewhere and receive his darshan. The gentleman felt content and decided to return soon after. As he took leave, Baba asked him why he was in a hurry to return. Baba advised him to return the following day. Devotees conveyed this to the gentleman and advised him to travel the following day. But the foreigner was unwilling to change his plans. He left Shirdi in a tonga. Initially, all was fine, but when they crossed Savalivihir, a bicycle came in front. Seeing it, the horses got frightened and started running very fast. The tonga overturned and the gentleman fell. He was dragged over some distance. He had to spend a few days in the hospital also. Baba's words are to be obeyed implicitly. His words are divine command, and every word he utters is for our welfare alone. If Baba were so great a manifestation of God, why did he go begging from house to house? Some people have such doubts. There is a reason for this. Who are the ones who are entitled to live by begging? The Shastras say that only those who are free from the desire for fame, wealth or progeny have the right to live thus. It is a responsibility of householders to provide food to such mendicants. Baba had no desire for anything. He was a celibate sannyasi from boyhood, a Mahapurusha. He was established in the conviction that the universe was his home and that he was Vasudeva who supported the universe, the eternal Brahman. Hence, he had every right to take recourse to begging bowl. Think how far this practice has deteriorated today. Householders have certain dharmas. Baba was imparting this lesson to them. It is said that a householder must have his food only after serving the guest. he is also enjoined to perform the Pancha Mahayajna, or the 5 great sacrifices, to atone for the 5 great sins unknowingly committed by him. Baba visited 5 homes for alms every day to impart this knowledge to householders. What are the 5 great sins and 5 great sacrifices? Number 1, Khandani, pounding. Number 2, Peshani, grinding. Next is Chulli, lighting hearths. Udakumbi, washing pots. Marjani, sweeping and cleaning. In these activities, very many tiny insects and creatures get killed. These are the 5 great sins, and yet it is impossible to avoid these. This is why the 5 great sacrifices have been prescribed as atonement. These are Brahma Yajna, Pitru Yajna, Deva Yajna, Bhuta Yajna, Nara Yajna. There is yet another Yajna, which is serving food to those who arrive at the house uninvited and unexpected. If a householder properly performs these yajna, he will be able to attain purity of mind, which in turn leads to self-realization. Sai's Leelas are unique and incomparable. If a devotee intended to offer something to Baba but forgot about it later, Baba reminded him about it, made him bring it, and accepted the offering, thus blessing the devotee and relieving him of the debt. Listen to this interesting Leela. Ramachandra Atmaram alias Baba Saheb Tharkhand was a staunch devotee of Baba. As he was a member of the Prarthana Samaj, he did not believe in worshipping pictures. His wife and son were even more devoted to Baba. Once, during holidays, his wife and son wanted to go to Shirdi. The son was in the habit of performing daily worship to Baba and did not have even a sip of water before offering Naivedya. He felt troubled by the thought that his going to Shirdi would affect the daily worship of Baba at home. However, Baba Saheb assured his son that he would perform the daily worship in his absence. Thus, mother and son set out to spend a few days in Baba's presence at Shirdi. The next day, Baba Saheb woke early. He bathed and entered the shrine room. He bowed before Baba's photo and prayed, Bhagavan, please bless me to perform your worship from my heart, just as my son does. May it not be just a formal act. He performed the puja and offered a few pieces of lump sugar as Naivedya. After completing the worship, he left for the office. He continued this practice faithfully and felt glad and satisfied that he could keep his promise. On the 4th day, he completed the morning puja and left for work. When he came home for lunch, he found that there was no prasad to have after food. With a shock, he realized that he had forgotten to offer Naivedya that morning. Baba Saheb felt very sad and he felt very guilty that his worship had indeed ended up just a formal act. He wrote to his son, informing him of his oversight and seeking Baba's forgiveness. Now let us see what happened that afternoon in Baba's presence at Shirdi. The midday aarti was about to begin when Baba suddenly said to Baba Saheb's wife, Mother, I had gone to your home. Being noon, I was very hungry and I thought I would find something to eat. The door was locked, but I managed to get in. I found nothing kept for me to eat, so I had to return without having my hunger satiated. The lady did not understand what Baba said, but her son gathered that something had gone wrong with the puja that day. He requested Baba for permission to return home and perform the puja. Baba refused, but allowed him to offer the puja there itself. The son wrote a letter to his father informing him of this. At this time, the father's letter was on its way to Shirdi as well. Both received the letters the same day and they were moved to tears reading the contents. Baba Saheb was touched seeing Baba's infinite compassion towards his devotees. Babu Saheb's wife was a deeply devout lady. She was about to take lunch when she saw a weak, famished dog at the kitchen door. She gave a part of her food to the dog. Just then, a pig covered entirely in sludge came there looking for food. She fed the pig as well. Later that afternoon, she went to masjid for Baba's darshan. Baba smiled at her with great love and said, "Mother, I am very happy. Didn't you feed me to my fill today? Do you know how hungry I was when I came to you? Continue to serve me as you did today, for such acts alone will help you later. I will never sit in this masjid and speak lies. First feed the hungry, then you take your food." The lady did not understand anything. Baba said, "Mother, I was the hungry dog that came to you as you sat at your meal. I was the pig too. All creatures like dogs, cats, pigs, flies, cows, etc. are one with me. I roam around in their forms." Hearing these nectarine words, the lady's eyes overflowed with tears of joy. Once, Raghuveer Bhaskar Purandare, a great devotee of Baba, planned to go to Shirdi with his family. Mrs. Tarkand gave Mrs. Purandare 2 brinjals and requested her to prepare bharit and kacharia, which are local dishes, with each of them and serve them to Baba. When she reached the masjid, she found Baba sitting at his meal. She served him bharit and Baba enjoyed it very much. It was then served to everyone there. After some time, Baba asked for kacharia. Mrs. Purandare was not at masjid at that time. That was not the season when brinjals were easily available. Word was sent to Radha Krishnamayi that Baba wanted kacharia. She was in a fix. They wondered if Mrs. Purandare might have brinjals with her because she had brought bharit for Baba. They found her and told her about Baba's wish to have kacharia. That was when they understood that Baba's desire to have kacharia had been his eagerness to accept naivedya from his devotee. Mrs. Purandare immediately prepared kacharia with the second brinjal that Mrs. Tharkand had given her. Thus, everyone got to witness the truth that Baba dwells in the hearts of his devotees. Listen to yet another of Baba's Leelas from Mrs. Tharkand's life. It was in December of 1915. One Govind Bhalaram Mankar wanted to go to Shirdi to perform the obsequies of his father. When Mrs. Tharkan came to know that he was going to Shirdi, she wanted to send something with him for Baba. She searched the whole house and found only a peda, which had already been offered as Naivedya. She gave it to Govind with deep devotion and requested him to offer it to Baba. But the boy Govind was in mourning. At Shirdi, he forgot to take the peda from the room when he went for Baba's darshan. He forgot to take it when he went for the second darshan in the afternoon as well. But this time Baba asked him, "What have you brought for me?" "Nothing," said Govind. Baba asked him once again. He replied once again that he had brought nothing. Finally Baba asked, "When you started, did the mother, Mrs. Tharkand, not give you a sweet for me? Where is it?" Suddenly, the boy remembered Mrs. Tharkand's offering. Embarrassed, he ran to his room and returned with the peda. Begging for forgiveness, he offered it in Baba's hands. As soon as Sai got it, he ate the peda. Thus, he accepted Mrs. Tharkand's devotion one more time. Baba blesses each devotee by giving him fruit as per his faith. The Shastras exhort us to perceive the divine in all of creation. Baba demonstrated to us how to practice this Upanishadic teaching. End of chapter 9. Om Asahayasahayaya namah.